Good morning, everyone. So, the agenda right now is we're going to have a flower offering for Master Ching Hai.
Why are you crying? Yeah? Do I look so terrible? Wow. So today all the deities got so many flowers. Thank you for coming early and thank you for waiting. You know what happened? You see, they keep me waiting at home. I was ready on time, and then they say, Master, nobody was here. So I think maybe I have a nice holiday. and then I waited very long, and she said to me, some of the, the disciple who came early, she said to me, oh, now there are some people coming. So I begin to put on my makeup, my clothes. No, it was long ago. And then she still say, you have to wait. So I was having nothing to do, so I put on earrings. And then later she said, still nobody comes. So I put on my necklace. And then she said, still nobody coming. About 20 minutes later on, she still put on bracelets, Now I know why the woman put on so many things. Just to pass the time. So now you see me all dressed up and beautiful, but late. And later when I cannot wait anymore, I said, now I'm coming. Doesn't matter what happened, I'm just going, yes. Because he said, nobody's there. Not yet, and not many people. I said, never mind. Doesn't matter how many, I will come. So that's how I started to, to go out. Otherwise, they keep me waiting until maybe tomorrow morning. Because she's used to with a big lecture. When I go lecture, there's a big, huge hall and so many people. So today for her, it's like nobody. So I'm sorry that, the fellow practitioner kept you waiting. I should have come earlier. But if I listened to them, I wouldn't have come. You know what I mean? So you still love me as usual, huh? Thanks. So Tony.
I would like to introduce Jeffrey McGord. Is that right? McGordy. Sorry, Jeffrey. He's going to share with us a spiritual experience.
Beautiful.
Please give him a warm welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much. That's really beautiful. Maybe you can teach me to sing like that too. I found out about the Master about a year ago. A disciple gave me a sample booklet. And immediately after seeing the picture and reading the booklet, I was just started being filled with joy and really excited because everything the Master said in the book was totally the truth, and it was in total harmony with my own feelings inside. It was like an echo of my own voice of what I thought was the right way, the right thing. So I brought the book home, and immediately I started to sing the Master's name, just coming out of me, singing praise for the Master and praying to the book and praying to the Master. For a couple of days this went on, and I started to feel a change already within me. It was like I was floating, or all the energy inside me was condensed and brought up to the top of my head here. And when I looked around, I felt really blissful because everything seemed perfect and there was nothing wrong. I was totally satisfied with everything. And I never had this type of experience before. It was a contentment that I really can't describe. It's not like anything else. So after feeling this, I started to think, maybe you're going a little crazy or something. I'd find myself, the book, I've read books by spiritual masters before, but this book, it's not too big. It's kind of thin. I was thinking, it's very thin. Why are you getting so excited about such a small book? But I felt it must be master must be great if it's touching you this deeply, if you're having this kind of reaction to it. So I went back to the disciple and I borrowed a video. And when I watched the video, it confirmed my feelings, because when I saw the master in the video, the master was radiating light, and the energy.
The video.
Or maybe the TV.
TV.
Anyways, the energy coming from the video itself was so strong too that I could hardly stay conscious to watch it. And after that point, I started to hear the inner sound that the master had described about in her lectures and books. At first I thought maybe I had a hearing problem, I should go to the doctor or something. But after talking to some disciples, they said, oh no, that's okay, the master is blessing you. So I continued to watch some more videos and wait kind of impatiently, very anxiously for the master to come and give a lecture so I could get initiated and practice this sound and light method called the Kuan Yin. And the master came about 7 months after that time, and I got initiation in Washington, D.C. And when the master, I first saw the physical master, my heart just exploded, and my soul just ran in every direction, and tears came pouring out of my eyes. It was like more than a mother, more than missing your mother or any person. It was like missing your true self, and seeing your true self and reuniting with it. So I got initiation, and at that point I realized that I'm not the physical body, but I'm made up of finer qualities of sound and light, and that I understand my purpose here is not just to enjoy the material world, but is to find my true self and to bless the world around me. When I had these experiences of hearing the sound before even personally meeting the master, it really convinced me of this master's omnipresent powers, that without even seeing her or being so far away from her, she could hear my longing and also return it with a reply. So I'd like to give many thanks to the master, and I hope you open your hearts and mind and really cherish this experience. Thank you, Master.
If we had time, I'd share a funny story with you too, but let's move on, and I would like to introduce Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mahachi. I just call you Mahachi, that would be fine. Thank you that so that we had the opportunity to see each other and also to have a devotional day to God in whatever form and name we may call this Supreme Godhead. Yes. I have to thank you and all of the people who have made this effort to push me here, because otherwise I wouldn't do anything. So every time I had a chance to give a lecture or to be in a gathering, then I'll be again thankful, because then I feel that I'm doing something right. But if nobody demand or request or push me into this kind of work, then I won't do anything. Yes, and I also don't feel anything about it. I mean, I don't feel regret or I don't feel remorse. remorseful, yeah, that I don't do the job. But every time I'm in a lecture or have the opportunity to see people, I feel very grateful. Yes, that somebody had made the effort to push me to push me here. Otherwise, I just don't do it. I don't know why. I don't know why it's such a beautiful job, and I never desired to do. I don't know why. But every time I do it, I feel it's good. You know, it's good that I should do it. But then I never decide to do it again. And then if somebody pushes me out to give a lecture or something, then I'm grateful again that I do it. Do you know what that is? Huh? Must be laziness, huh, I think. I really don't understand myself. People are just saying that when you're enlightened and you're a master, you're supposed to know yourself. But I must confess, I don't know. I don't know. I can just equally be happy, stay home and sleep. So I really don't know. But when I'm here, I'm very happy and grateful that I'm here. And when I'm in bed and sleep, I'm happy and grateful that I sleep. So, but I truly am grateful that you have pushed me to come here, and you know, I feel just good, very good. Probably I become a little bit useful. So, and also the temple is useful, that we can gather together and have a nice devotional day to the Supreme God. Or you just came for lunch? Huh? No, huh? I didn't make mistake, no. No, huh? You came for God, right? Okay, good. Then you're entitled to lunch later. Yes, surely if we don't have spiritual food, doesn't matter what we eat, it will never satisfy us, mentally and physically. Therefore we keep getting hunger and hunger. Yeah, hungry and hungry again and again. And even we eat a lot of nice food and vitamin, we still get sick and sometimes distressed, yeah, and indigestion. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that the food which was prepared for offering to God first, and then we eat it, it should be very, I'll say, nutritious and full of blessing for us. If, however, we prepare the food just for personal satisfaction, then we truly make mistake. And that will give us a lot of unsatisfaction and sometimes trouble, indigestion and all that. Because actually in the Bhagavad Gita it says stronger than this, say very strongly, like, you eat in sin. You don't offer first to God. So it's not me who spoke like that, it's Krishna. Thank you. Now, same is not only food. All of you know the Bhagavad Gita or not? Except the Indian people. All the people know Bhagavad Gita? You don't know? That's the book of wisdom of ancient India. It's about 5,000 years old. Is that not so, Maji? Yeah, yes. And it was spoken by the Supreme Master of that time, Krishna, the beloved black beauty. Is that right? He was black and beautiful, right? No, we call him dark beautiful, right? Is that the one or the other one? Krishna was, huh? Yes. His complexion was so dark, you know, like many Indian people. But he's so beautiful and handsome that the people call him heartbreaker also, because he breaks everybody's heart when he lives. And wherever he goes, people love him, adore him, and make offering to him, and just follow him madly. I heard that he has about 70,000 wives, or 16,000 wives. Well, the Indian people sometimes exaggerate things, but he must have a lot of followers, you know, a lot of followers. It's not really wives, you know, disciples. Mostly are probably mostly a woman, because probably he was very handsome. I heard, I wasn't there. Maybe I was there, but I forgot. So the Bhagavad Gita is a record of the teaching of the Master, yeah, Krishna. So now, you can find much wisdom and guidance in this book. I still look at it from time to time. I still do, yes, because it's very beautiful, concentrate, and wise. Yes. Sometimes you get solace and calmness by reading that book. If you truly understand and digest it, it is a wonderful masterpiece of wisdom. Many of the master of the past had connection with Indian law. Therefore, we could not to mention India and the Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Even Milarepa, the great yogi of Tibet, yeah, Or should I tell another story again? Huh? The disciples should know Milarepa, no? I told many stories. Okay, now, even that great yogi of Tibet, his possession consisted of, maybe a pot and the Bhagavad Gita. Now, in that book, it is mentioned not only the food, that we should first prepare it in the spirit of offering to God before we take it. But everything else we do in life must be an offering, must be a sacrifice to the Supreme Spirit. In that case, we will never reap any bad or any good result out of that. Because bad result or good result bind us to this material world. Even if sometimes we cannot help ourselves, we become we lose our temper. We get angry, yes, and we know we shouldn't. And then sometimes we feel very, very sorry for a long time after our anger has already subsided. But I tell you, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself anytime. Whatever you do, just make offering to God and let it be whatever the outcome. Because we are not the body anyhow. We are not the action. We are not the doer of anything in this world. Even if we are, suppose we are the doers, we still have to forgive ourselves when we make mistakes, or when we cannot help with our, habit, like anger, or sometimes greed, and sometimes lustful thoughts, because these things also arise from the circumstances. It's not truly the self, it's not truly the soul that desire all these things. So we have to always try again, and forgive ourselves after all. Above all, because the inside is God, the supreme wisdom. So we can't scold it, we can't abuse it, we can't be rude to it. You understand what I mean? So if we are angry with ourselves, we should be angry only with our habit. Yes, the habit, our accumulated habit. Or we should blame the situation also, not to blame the supreme wisdom, the real self, because the real self never err, never make any mistakes. Suppose we are even the doer, and we are in this society like this. Sometimes we get angry. It's not always our fault. Most of the time, it is not. Sometimes everything can make us angry. For example, you work in a company, and you work with the wrong personnel, right? Whatever you tell him, he just doesn't understand. or he understood, but he does the other way around. He just make you angry and angry and angry. And even you forgive him again and again, he repeatedly doing that. Very small thing, even small thing, irritates our mind and make us feel miserable. So it is good that we know that there is something else above the mind and above the body, because the body is composed of only, material substance like earth, water, iron. Yeah, well, our iron inside is much enough to make a few nails, and water, yes, and earth, and maybe fire, the vital fire, so that the body will be warm and all that. And the mind is consisted of what? It's just a collection of all kind of informations, bad and good. And it is just like a computer. Whatever you program it, yeah? And when you push the button, it comes out the same, right? Come out the same. One of our fellow practitioners, he has electric organ, piano. And he programmed it into different musical rhyme, yeah, and when he can play it again from the cassette. So the same thing with our brain. It would be empty. It would be absolutely blank, just like a brand new computer. And until we start to record things and information, and sometimes good, sometimes bad. So if we happen to record the good information, then when we want to make use of it, then the good informations come out. And if we happen to record the bad information, then of course it come out, the bad informations. So now, to meditate, to pray to God, or to study the Holy Scriptures is just a way to reprogram our thinking, our way of life. And because we reprogram it in a good way, so the result comes out always good. Or at least not as bad as before, or at least not all bad. Even though we can't help to record some more bad information daily, but the number will be less than before, right? Because we keep recording good things, like we meditate on the God name, we meditate on God power, and we get the God power coming through us, filling us with joy and virtues and goodness. Then even the bad information comes in. It has no room, and also may be minimized. And because of the goodness and the powerful energy from God through meditation each day, we will be able to dilute or maybe digest completely any information that is harmful to our mind and our soul. That's why we cannot not to meditate. We cannot not to study Holy Scriptures. Many people don't like to study Holy Scriptures. Why? Because they don't understand. So I heard many of the holy men from churches, from temples, they complain that the young people or the people of today do not like to study scriptures, do not like to study holy book. But because most of the holy scriptures are too profound, too sophisticated, too deep, sometimes too difficult for the modern man, for the layman to understand. But we have one solution. First, we have to open the understanding power. Then we can understand the Bible or the scriptures. Anything you get your hand, anything you get into your hands, you will be, any book, you will be able to understand. I also could not understand much of what is said in the Bible or in the Bhagavad Gita or in the Buddhist scriptures or in the, you say, Lao Tzu books and all that. Yeah, Kong Tzu Lao Tzu book I read. I understood somehow, but not as profound, not as deep as I do now. Because after our power of understanding is open, the wisdom is, how to say, it's made to be useful again, then we can understand many things. So if we do not understand the scriptures, and the best thing is first to get enlightenment. Enlightenment means you open the power of understanding. And then the heavenly light, godly light, will shed all understanding upon any object that we wish to study. So that's why even now in the college, people teach the students many kind of meditation, at least to calm their, how to say, turbulent mind. And if they have a better meditation, the good kind of meditation, which can even open the seat, the door of wisdom, the power of understanding, then so much better for them. Therefore, many of the students who study in college, but at the same time meditate, they find it easier to master any subject that they want to study. And they were always very good at school. They're always good at school. This is a fact that everybody knows by now. Why is that we heard of reincarnation? Why there is reincarnation? It is because we do not know the real self, and we chase after the container of the self. Therefore, we chase after one to another. For example, the water in the sea is all one, yeah? And then if we happen to put it in a cup, or we put a cup into the sea like this, and then we seal it, then the water in the cup is separated from the ocean, right? Understand? But as soon as the cup is broken, then it becomes one with the ocean again. And if the water inside the cup is attached to the container, and then after it's broken, it goes and seek another cup, you know what I mean? Then it will forever be separated with the ocean. Similarly, our real self is not contained in this body. Never. Because it's all pervading. And this is just one of the stations, one of the things that, you know what I mean, contain a little bit of ourselves. Therefore, when we broke this limitation, we will be one with the whole. And we don't have to break the body to go out. There is a way to go out. For example, we don't need to break the cup to free the ocean, to free the water in the cup. We can just, where it's leaking or there is a hole somewhere. And then so even the cup is still there and the water is still inside, but at the same time the water is in and out all the time and connect with the whole ocean. Understand? Similarly, our cup here, the body, has a hole. And it's blocked. Yeah? It's made blocked. So to keep the soul of life, the water of life inside, but we can open it. Similarly, some of the cup, it's all made like this, but there is a hole in the bottom, and then they use a plastic cover to cover it, right? any, or sometimes medicine bottle also. And then we just take the little cap, yeah, plastic cap or something, and then we can connect with the contained inside. So there is a place where we can be connected with the whole universe while still keeping this instrument, the body. That is the third eye center, the seat of wisdom, the seat of the soul, if it's opened by any means at all, by our own perseverance, power of desire for liberation, or through a master, then we will be connected right away with the whole universe, with the Most High, which is all over places. The power of the Most High is not only contained in this body, but it's in the air right now, it's everywhere. It's in every blade of grass, in the leaves of the trees, in all creations. It is easier to open it if we have an experienced guide, who has already been connected with the whole universal power. Then that he is very powerful, because he doesn't use individual power anymore. He uses the whole universal power, understand? Because he's already connected. Just like the water in the cup, even though it's still in the cup, but it's always connected with the ocean water through the hole, and there's always fresh water coming in and out, even though it's still contained in the cup. Therefore, a master or an enlightened person is like that. The initiated person are the one who has this, connection, has the button open, yes. And the master is the one who realized the universal power, even though we all have it. But the master is the one who realized it. It's just like if two persons have the same amount of money inherited from the father, but the one who knows it, who knows where it is, can use it, no? Right? And the other one, even though he has it, but he put it somewhere, or he never know where it is, can he use it? He cannot, right? Similarly, we are all the same. But if we know where to use our universal power, then we become master of ourselves, master of our destiny. And we can lead many of others to become master of their own destiny as well. Otherwise, even though we are equally great, but we don't know our greatness, and that's a waste of time. Therefore, we have to come back again and again in search for this treasure until we find it. Then our journey ends. Very simple. We are here to search for this forgotten treasure. And we never give up until we find it. That's why our life is never satisfied, never satisfactorily, because we always know there's something else greater than what we have right now. We always somehow know that we are not this container, the flesh. Because after we so-called die, the body is still there, but we cannot move. We cannot do anything. We cannot love any person. We cannot open our mouth. We cannot do anything at all. That means we are not the body. Something in the body is there to make the body move and work while we are living. Something in the body left when we die. So we cannot move any of our bodily instruments. So somehow we know. Very deep in our heart we know. Well, I know. I don't know if you know. You know, huh? You must know. That's why sometimes when you have time, right? When you are in trouble, especially, and sometimes you sit down, you don't want to be with anyone. You just want to be alone. And then you think, and then you feel better and better. Because you thought there is something there. Something that sometimes comfort us in silence. I used to be like that before I know the Kuan Yin method. I used to pray a lot. I prayed to Buddha and I prayed to Jesus. I'm afraid one of them cannot hear. So I pray to anyone I know. Sometimes I pray to Krishna or, Hindu God. There's no Hindu God, there's only God actually. Just sometimes God resume an Indian form or a Chinese form, so we call this an Hindu God, Chinese God. Actually, there's no such thing, huh? Okay. So when sometimes when I'm in deep sorrow, I was in deep sorrow before I know the Kuan Yin method. Then I pray very deeply, just to be alone, not to pray very loud, but to, to truly lament inside. And then I feel like something lifted me up, and I feel so soothing and so smooth. And I feel like, well, there's nothing to worry about. That is the time when we realize that something is greater than life. Something is always there to listen to us. Most of people pray and they say they don't have the response because they don't pray deeply enough. That's why we have more response when we are in deep sorrow, because we truly are sincere at that time. And then we pierce through all the layers of pretending, of hypocrisy, and we pierce through our, false self, and we get in touch somehow, even briefly, with the true self. That's when we get the response. But I suggest that we don't have to wait until we are in deep sorrow to do this. That would be too traumatic, yes. So we have a better way to do. We practice it, even when we are not in sorrow. That would be better. We practice before we die. That would be better. So when we die, just like we walk from one room to the next, no problem. And we can walk out forever. We can break the whole cup and be united with the whole ocean. Or we can keep it. Or we can seek another cup in order to satisfy someone else's longing, or to help someone else. It's like the master. Sometimes the master reincarnate again and again into different bodies in order to help mankind. Some masters just like to enjoy heaven, enjoy nirvana, and never want to go back again. Some master never, ever incarnated on this earth. No intention to do. Some master incarnate again and again in order to help the children who are suffering, who has the great treasure but don't know how to use it. Therefore, being very poor, poor and miserable. In India, people appreciate the masters very much. They worship the master even more than God because of this reason. They say, oh, what if the master and God appear right now, both of them appear right now, I would only worship the master. I don't care about God. They just it is just a kind of adoration and gratefulness to the master. Actually, they worship the master because of God. They worship God because of the master. Without master, they don't know that true God exists or not. Yes. And without God power, the master is also nothing. Understand? So we all came from God, whether it's master or not master. The master is the one who knows God. And the non-master is the one who don't know God yet. But they still have God. They are still from saying, I told you about the story of the cup. The ocean, water in the cup. So at the time of initiation is, you know already, the button is pushed open, so then we can get in touch somewhat, to God, at least for some moments. And then we continue to do that every day until we completely realize that we are one with God. There's no separation. You see, there are many things that the initiated person understand and know, but difficult to put them into words, right? Yes. Me also. And if nobody demands anything from me, I would not even think of God. You know what I mean? He just kind of always standing around. Or he's just inside me. So I don't even think of him. I don't talk about him. I don't miss him. I don't seek him anymore. Just for other people's sake that I talk about God. I talk about these things. And sometimes it's difficult for me to talk about God. Yes. Maybe that's the reason why I don't desire to go for lecture or anything like that, because I'm just satisfied wherever I am and whatever I do. The initiate people are mostly like that. Many of them have this satisfaction right away at the time of initiation and continue forever. And some of them have to wait sometimes to realize that they have found a treasure. Why is it so? Some people's curtains are thicker than others, right? Because we are obstructed by intellectual understanding and by many of the knowledge that we have accumulated during our lifetime, and we're proud of it, and cling to that. That's why we have forgotten that we are greater than this knowledge, greater than the PhD certificate, greater than the name that we are proud to have, like Dr. So-and-so, or I'll say such and such a position. We are greater than this, greater than any king on this earth. Sometimes we don't even realize that we have this ego, and that we are trapped into this ego. The Maya net. We don't even realize it until we practice more and more and more. And the more we practice, the more we realize that we are obstructed by our own habit, by our own collection of garbage, of a lot of nonsensical thinking. Is that right? Nonsensical? Oh, I forgot English. Yeah, it's the same. If we speak Chinese or Vietnamese all the time, we forget also English. Me too. Similarly, every day we're busy with our daily work, and we're busy with our worldly knowledge, and we think we know that much, this much, and then we forgot that we are the great one. We know more than that. We know above all these things, including these things. Now the greatest power, the great wisdom is so big like that, for example, so great, so pervasive. And then we use that great wisdom just to understand a little bit of the worldly knowledge, for example, your medical knowledge or lawyer knowledge or anything. And then we cling to that, the whole wisdom we use just to pay attention to this corner of the knowledge. Therefore, we forgot the whole. Understand what I mean? Yeah, that's it. And we thought that we are very great already. We are this doctor and that PhD. I don't mean to talk about you. I say we, mean including myself. Sorry. So now we think we know that much. We are beautiful. We have this and this certificate and that. In fact, we lost the whole 99.9999% of our great wisdom just to pay for that much worldly knowledge. And in the end, we have nothing. Because this is ephemeral. This knowledge we change. Because we know many medical definition or many medicines has been proved, outdated and then replaced by another. Or scientific fact has been always changed and removed and replaced by another idea. And then it will be replaced again and again as mankind progress into a higher consciousness. Therefore, it doesn't matter how much knowledge we gain from this world or from the brain power of research, we will never have the whole thing. Just one little point in the universe. Just like the water in the cup is proud that he's so big, and he doesn't know that he's the whole ocean. You know, when he's connected with the whole ocean, he became the ocean. I guess you understood what I say, or not? You did? Did I make you go to sleep? No, huh? Okay, fine. Actually, if you go to sleep, it's not true sleep. Yes, you'll probably be knocked out by the supreme power. Just like the microphone before. Maybe I let you ask question, okay? I don't blah blah too much. You have any question? Then I can elaborate further. I run out of subject now. If you don't have any question, then I set you free, huh? Liberated forever for lunch. Are you too shy to ask, huh? What's wrong with the microphone? Gone in samadhi?
Yeah, the microphones are always going into samadhi. The attendants here, would you please collect these papers from anyone who has questions? And if you'd like to ask Master Jinghai a question in person, please come up and take my place. Don't be shy.
Okay.
Okay, let me read the first question.
Right.
Master, why Krishnamurti said gurus and religion are crutch, so he refused to be their crutch for his students?
What does it mean, crutch?
I think it's
Yeah.
why do they use a crutch? Is that the question?
Yes. Well, why didn't you ask him? I'm not responsible for anybody else's teaching. Everyone has his own independent thinking and philosophy, provided he keep it for himself. Anyhow, okay. Probably what he meant is that if you too attached, right, to religious dogma or to any teacher at all, then you will be handicapped. In that sense, he is correct. The teacher or the master is not the one on which you lean, but from which you gain experience and wisdom, and then you walk yourself, okay? Most of the time, if a teacher is worth his salt, he should teach the student this way. You know what I mean? Yes? But never mind, even then, if a student of any master should feel that he was not able to yet to develop himself, right? Then he can pray to the master in the initial stage of his spiritual practice. And later when he grow up, he just automatically drop the master. It's just like a person. Not everybody can walk straight. I need an umbrella to walk. My legs are weak sometimes, you know? So, but when my legs are okay, then I don't need it. Yeah? And somebody, sometimes they're naturally born handicapped or accidentally handicapped. And then they need the crutch. It's okay with him. You can't just kick him out and say, you don't need the crutch. It will make you dependent. Understand? Yes. So we cannot just say like this, black and white, to say the master, the guru, or the religion are no good absolutely for people. It's good to someone, right? If you don't need it, it's fine. If you need it, well, stay a while until you don't. So I don't preach anything extreme. For my opinion, religion is also very good for many people. At least they learn the virtuous way of life. They fear God, they fear the law of cause and retribution, and many people became good. I tell you the truth. But as long as we know that this is not the ultimate, you know what I mean? Yes, ultimate, not the ultimate. Just like, for example, the master in the physical body is not the ultimate. You know, the ultimate is inside the master and inside you. Through the master, you will find the ultimate. That's fine. It's fine. Yes. And if you haven't found it yet, you can rely on the master and help, yeah, and carry you for a while, and then you can walk. It's fine. But there's no such thing extreme as to throw away everything altogether. It's not so? Hmm?